What's up, YouTube? Today is Tuesday, May 5th. Um, this is and I promised some of you guys that I was going to record a video, and I actually did three, 4 times since last week. Something's going on with my computer. It records, but it doesn't record voice. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on today. I'm gonna give it one more try. And see what works. And I actually want to go over my process, because I've had a few questions in chat, and a few people just um, asking me about the process, like they don't understand. And I understand where they're coming from, because like everyone talks about the process, right? And I remember back in the days when like people would say, you go on Twitter, or like you ask hear these guys who are making it, who are successful. They always talk about the process. Oh, you got to follow your process. But what the heck is a process? Like, what is it, right? And so, like, I'm just gonna share with you, kind of like the process of my strategy, the way I trade every single day to achieve consistency, right? Um, so I'm gonna go over one trade. Um, today was today was a good trade, a good day, but I don't want to go over today, or even this all these days. I want to do the 429, which was I believe it was last week, Wednesday or Thursday. This day right here. I want to go over this day because there's some psychology behind it, and I feel like this is going to be a really good example of what is it that I look for as far as my process. So I'm going to share with you guys again, right? So what's a process? Like for me, the process is having a system that's being back tested, and that it's been back tested for a couple of years, and then it's been sim traded, meaning that you back tested it, you went over sim trading, and you traded this as if it was a real account, a real, as if you were trading real, and then forward test, actually traded live, and make sure that it works, and then and that's how you start. But in order for you to understand, like in order for you to know if the system works, you need to have a process, meaning that you need to have certain things that you do every single day, day in and day out. Because there's times where, like, actually, there's someone that's making this mistake, as I'm saying this, um, he's very confused about what he's doing, because he so he somewhat, like, he deviates from the plan. He has a system, right, a strategy, but he's hopping around trying to do one thing and then the other, and that doesn't create consistency. So, like, if you don't have the process, or the process that you do every single day, how are you going to know if the mistakes or the losses that you're having are just part of the process, part of your system not, if your trade's not working, or is it, like, psychology, like mistakes are, emotional mistakes, or what, like, that's why you need to have a process. So I'm going to show you my process, kind of like what I do every single day, and then and so that you could have an idea what is it that I look for. So I'm going to go over this day right here, this day 429 here on demand. Been having really bad internet. Um, okay, 429. It's Wednesday, and I'm gonna do my best not to move the mouse, because I know I move this freaking mouse a lot. So this day 429, which was this day right here, I'm gonna switch it around. So what I do, I have a on thinkorswim, I have different chart, different um, chart where like I could draw anything that I want here, so that if I want to go, like if like I don't need to raise this channels or these lines here, and then if whenever I want to trade, I go just have a different a different window. Anyway, so this day, the process is this. So let's go over and do this, right? So I have it's spreadsheet with different things that I do every single day, day in and day out. And these things I know by heart. Like I don't need to go over this every day. But guess what? I'm not. We're not perfect. We're not 100% every single morning, right? There's days that you sleep well, there's days that you don't, there's days that you just feel tired, and so on and so forth. So I used to make a lot of mistakes before in the past where like I would just sit down and think that, oh, I know what I'm doing, so I don't need to go over this. I don't need to go over my process, my system. And there'll be times where like I'll have a loss or make the mistake, and then I look back like a few minutes after the loss and be like, why the heck did I do that? I know better than that. So now what I do is I have these steps right here and I follow them. It doesn't matter how I feel. I just follow them step one by one, and that keeps me from thinking, right? I just do them, right? So I'm not gonna go over each one of them, but just look at the daily. So like I start by looking at the daily. Look at the daily and determine who's stuck, right? Long and shorts. So this one right here, I just and I have add these pieces to the pattern you're trading to make it stronger. So just to explain what that means is that I look at the daily, right? I look at the daily. I don't have to go all the way, but around this here, and I look and I see what's going on here. I want to know the story behind the previous 3 4 days as far as the daily, right? So who's stuck? So I look at the shorts and the longs. So I start with the shorts. Okay, if I was a short and I shorted here, right? If I was a short and I shorted here, this day closed very strong to the downside or weak, whatever, however you want to see it. And then this day, um, same thing, right? So shorts are winning here, right? Longs, on the other hand, longs are, you know, uh, pretty, this was kind of overextended already. This day gapped up, took some took profits, and I'm thinking that I'm just saying that thinking that all the majority of the longs took their profits here, and then once they take their profits as a long, what do I want? I want price to go lower to support to buy again, right? So that's what I'm thinking. Um, so as for longs, for shorts, I'm sure there was this day was very strong, strong for shorts. So I'm thinking that there's some shorts that held overnight, and then the following day we in the morning we wake up and price gapped up. So imagine all the shorts that are trapped, right? Like imagine all the shorts that are trapped right here, right? They're underwater here. And longs, whoever went long here, they're good, right? They're in positive territory, whatever, right? But the story that I see here is that shorts are trapped here, and they're gonna wait for the market open. And if this thing doesn't drop right away, they're gonna get out. And in order for you to cover your short, you have to uh, buy, right? And so that's when you see this squeeze up. So I'm already seeing, right, and this is part of my process, right? Look at the daily to determine who's stuck, and then the third one, I want to draw higher highs and higher lows in the 15 minute, and then look at the daily lines for support and resistance, and then I draw trade wedges, right? So wedges here, go back, and now I'm looking at the wedges here. I'm looking at the 15 minute, right? At the 15 minute here, and I realize that there's a wedge here, right? There's a wedge here, so you guys can see, and there is a 15 minute, what I call a 15-minute level of support and resistance. You see that? It tap here, 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 and now we're right slightly above, and we're here. So I already know, like, everything is in my favor, right? I already know that what I want to do, and on top of that, we have a bigger wedge. See that? We have a bigger wedge, and price is right above already. So like, so many things, right? It's not just a wedge, but so many things, the psychology behind it, everything that's going on, everything that's setting up, it's a setup for me to go long, right? So now I could I could go, and I'm gonna skip all this. I still go one by one, right? And I just determine if that's something that I want to look for. But in this particular scenario, the one setup that I want to look for is a breakout, right? And I know that the setup that I'm looking for, which is this one, a breakout, right? Major 15 level, a minute level support. Go long once it bounces. So I want price to go down, hold a 15-minute, and then and bounce. My stop, I know where my stop is. I know I'm set. I know what I need to do. So I don't need to guess, right? I know my process. This is my process, right? And let's just go over the 1 minute and see what happened that day, right? As price opened up, right here, that's what I trade the 1 minute. Price opened up, came back down. I'm still waiting. It pushed down. See how it came all the way down, broke this level. And as soon as it got sucked up and closed above, I went in long, or I bought some calls, and then my stop was right below, and then this thing just took off, right? So that's what I'm talking about the when I say the process, and it's everything. Like the process is everything. It's from how you draw a line, how you draw a wedge, how you determine price action. It doesn't matter. Like there's no right or wrong thing way to do it. Like you could do it 100% different than me, and you still be right. But what you need to understand is that the process is doing the exact same thing every single day, and don't deviate, don't change anything, right? And that's how you're going to achieve consistency. And so I, you know, every day, like that's why I'm very consistent, because every single day, like I have like on Facebook, man, like you have no idea, like everything that I have, everything that I do, right? Like for example, um, I don't have to like guess any, like today, like I'm gonna give you an example. Today, the setup was already like, as soon as I turned my computer on and I saw the 15-minute, I already knew what I was going to trade, right? I already knew. I didn't have to guess. I didn't have to ask myself, wow, damn, like what's gonna happen? Like I knew that I just didn't want to be a long. Even though like there was some shorts trap here and it looked very bullish, I knew that. But part of my process, right? My process is telling me that no matter what, I just don't want to be long here, because I don't like being long at highs. I just don't. I could be wrong, and today I was partially wrong, right? But I wanted to be short on these levels here. I wanted to be short on these levels, and I stuck to the plan, to the process, and uh, shorted, shorting, and it squeezed more than what I wanted to, but I stuck to my process, and I said that I was going to be short. I wanted to be short because of that, and that's that. So hopefully this helps out. And I know a few of you asked me about this spreadsheet here, but to be honest with you, it's like I can give it to you, but I don't think it's gonna help at all. It needs to be explained. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I gave it to a few people, and it's like fucking Chinese, right? Like you will not understand unless I go step by step. And the people that I took the time to explain, they're actually pretty successful by now. So yeah, you could do it, but it just takes time. So hopefully this works, guys. Hopefully you guys learn anything from something from here, and any questions you have, let me know. Laters.